just got prompted by the Lord to remind you about the story of a woman that had a hard time forgiving, difficult time forgiving. And I remembered because...
She had a hard time what?
Forgiving.
Oh, forgiving.
Remember that story that you always used to tell about this lady?
Oh, yes. Yeah, in Stockton, California. I was ministering with two mighty men of God, Jim Sepulveda and Chester Smith. They allowed me to be a part of their team. And we were in a small, actually it was a building that this couple used to rent and have meetings there and invite different speakers and guests. And this particular night I was with Jim and Chester, and anyhow, this one lady came up and she had arthritis all through her back. She was a little Hispanic gal, and she came up for prayer, and she was so in such pain, and I got a word of knowledge from God, and I said, you need to forgive your son and your daughter.
Wow.
And she didn't even look shocked when I said it. She just said, oh, but you don't know what they've done to me in my life. You don't know how terrible they are. And you know, instead of hearing the word of knowledge, she was feeling the anger and the hate towards her son and daughter.
Wow.
And I said, God says to me now, if you'll forgive them, He'll forgive you and He'll heal your body. And she looked at me, and she looked like she was going to hit me almost. And she says, finally she just stood there and like reasoning, trying to figure out. And then finally she says, all right, just like that. And I thought to myself, that's not asking forgiveness. That's being angry and rebellious, and you're really not forgiving him. But she said the words, I forgive him. All right.
Amen.
God accepted that. How did He accept it? After that happened, I went and prayed for her, and the power of God hit her, and she started shaking and crying, and she started straightening up, and all the arthritis left her body.
Wow.
She could bend over, she could do anything. She was completely healed.
Wow.
Why? Because she forgave. She forgave when she didn't want to forgive, but God accepted her for where she was at and how she felt and the pain she went through. We don't understand how merciful and loving God is. And this lady had been hurt and abused and angry, and God knows what her kids did to her. And she was built up with anger and hate. But in spite of it, she said, I choose to forgive.
Praise God.
Is forgiveness something that you just say it and it's done? No, it's a choice. It's a word and a choice that you choose to. You may not feel it. You may not express it even the way we're supposed to. But God understands how hurt and angry and what pain we've been through in our lives. And in spite of it, if we choose to make a statement and are willing to try to do something that God says we're supposed to do, many times He'll honor it. And that's what happened to this lady. I mean, it was an eye-opener for me, because I thought, surely she's not going to be healed. Wasn't I shocked? Wasn't I surprised? Because
wow.
You know what? God's mercy and grace was upon her. Amen.
That's awesome.
Amen. And maybe somebody watching this, and you're like this little lady, this Hispanic lady that was in pain and anger and hate in her life and going through life miserably like she was. But again, like her, if you'll say, God, I choose to forgive, if you'll do that right now and trust God to take everything away from you, you can't get rid of these things.
Amen.
That hate and that anger will torment you for the rest of your life.
That's right.
But when you let it go and let God have it, that's why Jesus died on the cross, to take your pain, your anger, what you went through in life, all the hurt and the pain, Give it to Jesus. Say, I choose to forgive. I choose to let go of the things of this world that have bound me and kept me in such a condition. If you'll do that right now, God can set you free. But you have to go to the foot of the cross and ask Him to help you. Only He can help you. But if you'll do that, help is available through Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.